Living in the city of Tampa, Florida can be a lot of sunshine and rainbows. However, not everything is sunshine and rainbows. Today, I'm going to be talking about some of the pros and cons of living in Tampa right now. Hey everyone, my name is Brett Schiller, your Tampa Bay real estate professional. My wife and I have a real estate team here in the Tampa area. And hey, if this video is helpful for you, please hit that like and subscribe button. Helps our channel a lot. We're putting out new content about relocating to the Tampa area, things we love about Tampa, things we don't like about Tampa. So if that's information you're interested in, this channel's for you. So without further ado, let's dive in and talk about 5 pros and 5 cons about living in the Tampa area. And we're gonna start off with a negative. So our number 1 con, which hits pretty hard right now, specifically with Hurricane Ian that just came through, is hurricanes. Hurricanes are a major factor for everyone that lives in the state of Florida. Now, extremely fortunately enough, the Tampa Bay area has been pretty strong in avoiding getting hit directly by a hurricane. This last hurricane with Hurricane Ian, we were right in the line of the eye. It was projected to come right through. And fortunately for us, unfortunately for our friends who live a little bit further south, Hurricane Ian turned a little bit and went through the Fort Myers and Cape Coral area. There are 2 things to worry about with hurricanes. Number 1 is wind, and number 2 is flooding. Flooding typically comes in the form of a storm surge where the ocean is pulled out and then comes back with vengeance and can flood a lot of houses. Fortunately enough, cities and counties have gotten pretty good at evacuating areas so that people can at least remain safe during the hurricane. We can't always avoid the damage that a hurricane will do, but we always recommend it's good to have insurance and things in place so that if your house does get damaged through a hurricane, you're at least protected. Now my con number 2 is the bugs in the area. The bugs are pretty bad, specifically the mosquitoes. Every single night as the sun starts to set, the mosquitoes start to come out, and it's a guarantee you're gonna wanna go inside and get away from the mosquitoes because they can really do some damage. In addition to the mosquitoes, we have all kinds of bugs like cockroaches, ants, critters like lizards, frogs. If you drive around the streets of Florida, one thing you're going to notice is there are a lot of pest control companies. And that is because almost every single household has to pay for pest control. Now, it's not a crazy expense. I think we pay about $300 a year for pest control. In my mind, it's well worth the investment. I've tried to do the DIY spray with the ortho stuff I can get from Home Depot, but for some reason, I can't keep them out. We hire professionals and we've had less bugs than ever. Now our con number 3, which can be a kind of a pro or a con depending on the time of season, but the weather. Specifically talking about the summertime as a con. The summer times can get extremely hot. Our temperatures are oftentimes in the mid-90s, and at nighttime, it doesn't really cool down a whole lot. We could still be in the 80s and it's still humid. You can walk outside and hoping for a little bit of cool, but it's still hot. Now this is specifically in the months of July and August where the sun beats down, the humidity is at the highest, it's rainy season, we're getting rain almost every day, and these months can be a little bit uncomfortable. Now there are 3 ways that we try and keep ourselves cool. Number 1 is we spend a lot of time in AC. Number 2, we jump in a pool. Number 3, we jump in an ocean. So even though we do have some really hot months, we try and mitigate it with those 3 things. If you're one of the lucky ones that owns a property outside of the state of Florida, July and August, maybe even June are prime months to jump out of state, stay in those houses for a little while, and come back to enjoy the remaining 9 months that are absolutely beautiful in the state of Florida. Con number 4 is termites. Now termites is something that is very prevalent in the state of Florida, so much so that it has actually changed how builders build our homes. One thing that you'll notice that we do in Florida that's not very popular in other places is our first level is built out of block concrete. And oftentimes, even the second level, builders will build out of concrete. And the reason for that is we want to mitigate the amount of wood on the exterior of our home so that termites can't get in it and do damage to the structure of our home. Now, specifically, if you're an investor that's thinking about coming to the area, if you're looking at fixer-upper homes that are maybe built in the 1900s, it wasn't a standard to be block at that point. So there are a lot of wood frame homes out there, and it's almost a guarantee that they've had termites. It's just a matter of how bad was the damage. We always recommend to get a home inspection regardless of what the house is or how old it is to understand if there could be termite damage. But luckily enough, with the change in construction and using more concrete block, we have started to mitigate some of that damage that is being done by termites. And taking you to my last con number 5 is there are no basements in the state of Florida, which also means there is no storage in the state of Florida. The water table is really high. So if you were to dig down and dig a basement, that means that your basement would basically turn into an indoor swimming pool, and one that you probably don't want. So unfortunately, basements are not really a thing. If you want more space, you build up in Florida. Now, you think builders would put a little bit more storage, more closets, places to put things. However, I typically don't find that's the case. There's not a lot of places to store things. So you'll find a very common thing is people use their garage for a lot of storage. They'll take their hundreds of thousands of dollars of vehicles, store them outside, and hold your $10,000 worth of household goods in the garage. I've never quite understood that logic, but you'll find a lot of people that don't park their cars in their garage simply because they have so many things that they have to store in the garage. The alternative to putting things in your garage is putting it in a storage unit. If you drive around the city, you're going to see storage units everywhere, and that is because homes do not have that much storage. So you've got to find some place. If you want to keep all of these household goods, you've got to trade off and pay a monthly amount to a storage unit to store those goods for you. And with that, let's talk about some of the amazing things that the city of Tampa has to offer you, taking you to my pro number 1, the weather. We talked about the hot summer months as a con, but the great news is the rest of the months are phenomenal. Florida winters are what everyone dreams about. While everyone else is prepping for snow, ice, and cold weather, we're prepping for droves of people because everyone wants to be in Florida for the winter time. The winters are very mild. The days can be in the 70s to 80 degrees. Feels great. You can still go on the beach. You can still swim. I've even gone on the beach on Christmas Day before. So if you're coming from some of the northeast areas or northwest where the weather and winters are quite drastic, Florida is going to be an awesome experience in the summertime if you're looking to get away from the snow and the cold. And taking us to our pro number 2, entertainment. There's a lot of things to do in entertainment. Number 1, because our weather is great year-round, we don't have the extreme cold that really mitigates us from going outside. We can do things year-round. We can go on hikes, we can go biking. There's all kinds of entertainment parks that are around us. We've got Orlando, the tourism capital of the United States, that's just an hour and a half away from us. You've got the Disney parks, the Universal parks. You've got great hotels up there, fun places to go hang out, great golfing. Or if you're looking to stay pretty close to home, just look up the things that are going on around Tampa. The city's always got lots of events, lots of cool people and concerts that they're bringing in. Head a little bit west and go to the beaches. Tampa has some of the best beaches in the entirety of the United States. And taking you to my reason number 3, pro for living in Tampa Bay, is the cost of living. The cost of living in Tampa is pretty well known for being below the average of a lot of places, especially your big metropolitan areas. If you're looking at places in the Northeast, they can get really expensive, especially for things like real estate. The latest statistics for the median home price that just came out in September 2022 was about $400,000 for a median home. The average sale price was about $530,000 for a home. So the net of it is that you can get a great home in a great location in a great city for the fraction of a cost of what you could get in some of your bigger and more popular areas like New York, New Jersey, or over in California or Washington. And a lot of people are opting for that. They're realizing that the lifestyle that Tampa provides could be a huge benefit for themselves and their families. And my number 4 pro reason for moving to the Tampa Bay area is the growth that this city is experiencing. Now, some people may view this as a negative, specifically those who have been in the area, kind of like the hometown feel, and it's changing from that. But specifically from an investment standpoint, I think it's great to be in a place where people want to live. As you begin to buy real estate, you're going to see that, hey, other people like the area, home prices increase, and that's great for you as a homeowner in the area. There's some really cool things that the city is doing. If you have a minute, check out Water Street Tampa. Guys like Bill Gates, the founder of Microsoft, and Jeff Vinik, the owner of the Tampa Bay Lightning, have invested over $3.5 billion into the downtown of Tampa Bay, creating new condos, new hotels, new entertainment, new places to eat. And that's an awesome thing. It's bringing a new energy and a new vibrant feel to the city. Now, specifically, if I have my real estate hat on, you want to be where there's investment. You want to be where people want to be, because if you own real estate in that location, then people want to be there. Prices will rise, and that's ultimately going to be great for you as a homeowner. And my pro number 5, last pro, which is extremely important, is the state of Florida has no state income tax. I've said this a lot, and I will continue to say this as a pro for Tampa Bay and the state of Florida. Having no state income tax can be the difference of thousands and thousands of dollars that you and your family are adding into your pocket. It's important to think about you and your future and the amount of money that you're going to be making and how much of that you're going to have to give away to the government. And in some locations, you could be giving away a huge amount of money, whereas if you had chosen Florida as your home state, you'd be saving all of it. So it's something that you should consider as you're thinking about making a move, as it can have a huge impact on the financial future of you and your family. So there you have it. There's the 5 cons and 5 pros of moving to the city of Tampa. Hey, hope this information was helpful to you. If I can be of assistance, or if you have questions about any of the content that I talked about, or questions about real estate or anything related to real estate in the area, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm going to put my contact on here. My wife and I are here as a resource for you. Our whole goal is to provide value and benefit you and help you find the best areas and best homes in the Tampa Bay area. As a side note, if you're looking to learn more about relocating to Tampa, we've created a document that's called a relocation guide that talks about some of our favorite cities, favorite communities, some of the schools in Tampa Bay. Be sure and check that link in the details below. So before I let you go, hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.